during this whole time, I thought about just running away because the longer I stay here, I'm gonna die or go to jail. And I just went through all the cities in the United States. I was like,
Stop.
all right, I'm gonna buy a ticket. Where do I wanna go? I found a foreclosed house. I slept on the patio. I had fleas all over me.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
shivering. I had no food. I was starving. Stayed in Vegas. I went out to the strip to Panhandle, and I met with this guy who told me, "Hey, let's go to Burning Man." We get out there. There's a small town. It's absolute desert valley, and I get this sudden feeling of awe just surrounded me. I don't feel any pain. I feel so much peace. I knew immediately at that point it was Jesus Christ. That God that the Christians worship, it was that one.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Raised and Redeemed podcast and YouTube channel. Today I'm joined by my good friend Landon Scates. I had told you guys we had his wife on last year to share her testimony, and you guys loved that one. That was the Charismatic to Orthodox Christianity testimony.
Yes.
So I promised her husband would come on next to share his testimony. And what is so interesting to me is you have shared your testimony in bits and pieces with me, but I feel we always get like a toddler interruption or something. So I've never heard it front to end.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear it today. All I know is he's seen some stuff, walked some many roads, came to Christ, and found even deception within the church, and not like the church, but within Christian churches.
Yes.
And wanted to be a pastor, lots of things. Now you're Orthodox.
Now I'm Orthodox.
So let's start back at the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about what your faith was like as a child?
Yes, so I can start with the background. My parents, my dad is raised Southern Baptist. My mother was Irish Catholic. When they got married, they just decided to become non-denominational.
Okay.
And then
Was that like their conclusion of like a happy middle?
I'm not exactly sure what the conversations were that led them to do that, but I think my mom was not a practicing Catholic in her youth when she met my father. And then then my dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. When we were young, I think non-denominational churches is just an easier way to become to practice their faith.
Especially in America, because I always talk about this, how most Christians, you only know like what is in America and the non-denominational kind of churches. That's the most prevalent. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I heard some stories of them going to church, but they actually did a lot of home church. So when we were in Hawaii, because of the military, they told me some pretty wild stories of house churches, and they like fell apart. That kind of pushed them away from the faith a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. At least the church, not God.
Yeah.
And when we moved, after a couple moving around, when we settled here in Florida, growing up, we were going to Southern Baptist Church. And I grew up every summer and every holidays. I went to Tampa to my cousins, and that was a Southern Baptist church. I'm talking khakis and button-up shirt, like old school Southern Baptist. So that's my background.
Okay, that's a more conservative.
Very conservative.
Yeah, I know. Like one of my favorite Protestant podcasters is Allie Beth Stuckey, and she's Baptist. And there's a lot of things I feel like Orthodox kind of align on, but there's a lot of things they don't.
They're very modest. Traditional.
Yeah.
In a certain sense.
It's one of the most old school Protestant denominations.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, as far as American, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not old school as like Lutherans and Anglican, but
Landon's really good at history.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Growing up in the Southern Baptist Church, my parents started being left every Sunday and more holidays. Christians. The church fell apart because people were moving, the pastor moved, and the churches broke up. We started going to a mega church.
Okay.
That was interesting because at this time now my parents are like fully holiday Christians, and then I'm growing up now. I'm in middle school, and I'm rebelling really hard at this point.
You were a Mohawk guy. Well, that was high school, the Mohawk.
Yes, excuse me. I mean, so I've always grew up. I loved heavy metal. I was a skateboarder, that whole 9 yards, and I started smoking weed and stuff like that. Maybe when I was 13 years old, and I'm going to this mega church, and it just feels super fake. It didn't feel very authentic, so I didn't take the faith that seriously. And at this time, I had a friend who grew up, he's Italian, so he was Catholic, and he was an altar boy. And we used to just skateboard in his backyard. He had a half pipe in his backyard, so we were just skating that. And one time, he told me, we were just talking, he told me, hey, my teacher told me that, he's a religion teacher or something, he told me that Christianity is fake. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I never heard that before. Like, yeah, it's just a bunch of made up stories. The Christian religion was it's a copycat of the Egyptian gods and stuff like that. And before I did any research, it was like not really a internet time,
Yeah.
so you didn't have a lot of information on there. I was already falling away from the faith.
And this was kind of like what you wanted to hear, maybe.
This is what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, when he told me that, I felt free. I felt free from guilt and condemnation, and I felt like, wow, I don't have a God judging me or an overlord just watching everything that I do, and I can make decisions on my own now.
Yeah.
I can be free, and just now the world is so much bigger. There's so many things I can explore. There's so many boundaries I can push. And from then, I was like really into punk rock and stuff like that. I was really into, I was a musician. I was into that lifestyle. I used to drink a lot, smoke a lot. This was like in high school.
What were your parents saying around that time?
I didn't have a lot of communications with my parents growing up. I think that kind of possibly led into why I became so rebellious. That I had no one to talk to and no one to guide me. But my parents are great parents. I love them. And we're close now. But just at this time, it was a little rough. I grew up hearing impaired. I don't, you can tell by my speech impediment, but that affected me as well. I was bullied a lot in elementary school. But then once I realized that if you push back, people, once you push back against the bully, they're not so tough anymore. So I became a bully, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's what made that fighter in you.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if it's my Irish blood or what, but so now I'm full on atheist or just myself. I believed in what I wanted to believe in, or I didn't care enough to even think about God.
Yeah. You're just living in the world now.
I'm living in the world now. This continues. Basically, I continue these habits and this lifestyle for years, and it's snowballing. So the snowball gets bigger, but the same substance. There's a void that starts to develop inside my heart. That's getting bigger and bigger. And I feel free, but I still subconsciously it doesn't feel free because I'm getting lost.
Yeah. I used to call it soul freedom. Like I was seeking soul freedom, and I wanted to be free so bad from that like overlord that you talked about. But then it was like the freedom also came with loneliness and the void getting bigger.
Yeah.
Like what is freedom? Like, oh, we're just trying, it's like us rebelling and running from God.
Right.
And it just, everything gets worse.
We're chasing a high, and the drugs started getting harder. So chasing high, or using high to get rid of to numb myself. I never think God never got addicted to anything, but I just, whatever it was, I wanted to get high. I just wanted
Yeah.
to lose my mind, and just, it was cool. I'm a cool kid, whatever.
That was
and
like
just
me too. I never got hooked on any one thing. It
Yeah.
was just like anything.
anything to get you high,
Yeah.
to fill up that void. But at the same time, you don't want to admit there's a void, because then you're wrong.
Yeah.
You start to develop, like, maybe what is it that's making me feel this way? And so I finish high school, I go to college for like a semester or two. I'm like, I hate this, I can't study. I had no mental capacity to sit down in class. I thought about joining the army, but with my hearing impairment, I couldn't join. I went up to the office to sign up. It wasn't gonna work. I wasn't medically fit. And then, so now I'm running out of options for my life. It didn't seem like I had anywhere to go, but I always felt like I wanted to be some sort of impact. I didn't want to be in this world and be forgotten.
Yeah.
I didn't want to not achieve anything, because I started feeling like, well, this is the only life I have. What am I going to do? Just get high all the time? And the weed was just changing. Like, I didn't enjoy being high anymore. I started becoming like stuttery and just numb and just like blank, and just, I felt dumb. And I love all the guys that I was hanging out with, but I was getting anxiety all the time. I was having panic attacks,
Yeah.
and I couldn't figure out what was the reason. And I went on a trip to Europe. I had saved up some money. I went on this like art trip to Europe, and I went to Europe for the first time, and it was very eye-opening to see different cultures. Basically popping my American bubble, and I saw some history, and I was just like, man, there's so much in this world that it's not restricted to my just group of friends
Yes.
that were just smoking dope all the time.
That opened your horizons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was so much more to life, and I think I was sober 1 or 2 days for 2 weeks in Europe, but it was just amazing. Got to see the Vatican and all.
Wow.
But when I came back, I wanted to express how fun it was, how big the world is. There's so many things, dude. We can go do this, and there's so many art. There's so much history out there, and all my friends were like, "Yeah, cool." Just like didn't care,
Yeah.
and it like broke me, because I was just like, I feel trapped now. Now I'm
Yeah.
trapped, and I need to get out of here. And
I have the chills because I
Yeah.
relate. Being from Indiana, like I felt that same way, and like my friends, a lot of them are still there doing those same things.
My friends are still there. I just started following them on Facebook and stuff. I love them so much.
Yeah,
But I
I
haven't
know.
expressed that to some of them. I've seen some, because I'm still a local boy. I've seen some of them around, and it's kind of bitter.
Yeah.
But I hope maybe the Lord will mend that bridge,
Yeah.
not for me to go back, for them to come over to my side and just see the
Yeah.
light. But on God's timing. But
I didn't mean to interrupt you though. So now you're like, okay, I'm starting to feel trapped in this.
I'm starting to feel trapped. I'm getting anxiety, panic attacks. I'm empty. I'm lashing out. I'm pretty violent sometimes when I'm drinking, or just like crazy, like driving drunk all the time.
It's like a rat in a cage.
Right in the cage. My mom calls me a prancing tiger, because sometimes in the house I'm just prancing around. She's like, "What are you doing?" I don't know. I just need to do something.
Yeah.
And I took another trip to Tallahassee to visit my friend up in college, and just to hang out. I haven't seen him in a while. He was one of my closest friends in high school. And during this whole time, I thought about just running away, because the longer I stay here, I'm gonna die or go to jail. Because thoughts of suicide were coming through. Because it's like, I'm worthless, I'm not doing anything, I can't change myself. Just end it. And I'll be less suffering for other people around me. It's like basically the atheist point of view is like, if your persona is useless to society, what's the point of you being around? You're just kind of a waste.
Yeah.
And that was the thought that I have. I'm like, I just want to take a trip and just be on my own and just try to find something, Buddha or God, Yahweh or whoever, whichever God it is, whichever energy it is. I've been in this time doing yoga, Kundalini practices, and I felt like I was starting to see my life in the past. These weird stuff, like Kundalini worship and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
like
thought
the
you were
yoga
who in the
practice.
past?
Me. Or like my past lives.
That those were things you did in
Yes.
past lives. Yeah.
And I'm
We
like
just had an Occult
hallucinating.
to Orthodoxy series, so
really?
we all know what we're talking about here.
So, I did like this energy thing where it's basically aligning your Kundalini spirit or whatever. It's been a long time. I don't
Good.
remember the details, but
Glory
you're
to
opening
God,
the
as we
flower in the
say.
back of my head.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember reading the side effects. I was like, this sounds demonic. I don't know if I want to keep doing this.
You
but
thought that even at the time?
At the time, I was like, this isn't. People are like, oh, sometimes when you do this, it creates a stronger feeling of lust or some bad side effects. And I was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
But I was practicing a lot. It was the weird part. I don't tell a lot of people this, but like lucid dreaming. And I used to practice lucid dreaming. Like it's like this point in your mind where you're transcending into the other realm.
Yeah.
And I used to be able to, I don't know, fly in my room.
Really?
It was so weird. And I've seen like just like random images or it's like dreams. And I've seen like this old man in the shadows just like watching me and stuff like that. And now as a Christian, I'm like, okay, that's the devil.
Yeah.
But back then I was like, oh, who is this? Like, is this like my Gandalf or something like that?
What's so weird is I had an experience like that when I was like 16, but I wasn't trying to do it. I like came outside of my body and I saw myself sleeping.
Yeah.
And I saw a dark thing in the corner trying to get me. It was like a brain-like
Okay.
alien
that's creepy,
demon.
Yeah.
And I was like fighting with it. But I never tried to do that. But I think I had opened so many portals with my sin of like the substance abuse, promiscuity, that like even though I wasn't doing occult things to try to do it, the portal had been opened nonetheless. So
it's dangerous to practice those things.
Yeah.
A lot of people wander into it not knowing what it is. But
did you ever leave your room?
No.
No. And think about it too. It's like these demonic entities want you to leave your body.
Yeah.
So they can come in, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Dangerous. So I'm feeling trapped now with my friend, and so I decided to go up to Tallahassee to visit one of my friends in college. And I go up there, and I just have like this feeling to push myself to leave everything I have. Because I was like, man, I don't want to go home. I can't go home. I'm trapped. I'm stuck. I have no guidance. I have no friends. I mean, I do have friends, but I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
This episode is brought to you by our YouTube membership. Thank you guys so much who have chosen to join and support me and support the work we're doing here on the channel. This is a place where I probably share TMI, my behind the scenes of learning to live a raised and redeemed life and heal from my past life of sin, where I answer member questions directly, sometimes in personalized videos, and give priority attention to all member comments. Again, thank you for joining and supporting the work we do here. God bless you.
I'm up at FSU campus with my friend. I'm losing my sanity. I don't want to go home. If I go home, I just know that I'm just gonna fall into these bad habits, and it'll come to either I end up in jail or I end up dying from drinking and driving or killing myself.
Yeah.
So I look at my buddy. We were just drinking on the couch or something. I look at him and I'm like, I'm not going home. He's like, he knew I'd been talking about it. He understood immediately. He's like, oh, okay. So I told him, I called my boss at the time, I told him I quit. I had this job at the warehouse.
Whoa.
And then I told my parents that I'm dropping out of college and that I'm not coming home. And they were just very upset, but my mom was just like, you're in God's hand. Like, she knew I was going through a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So she just let me go. So I told my friend, drive me to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
I go to Dick's Sporting Goods and I get a metal frame backpack. And
A metal frame backpack.
yeah, it's like a hiker backpack, but it has a metal frame that goes around. It's like the old school one.
Oh, you're getting ready. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. I spend my money on just equipment, backpack.
Whoa.
I just have my phone, my wallet. I think I had like $600 of cash on me at that time.
Wow. Okay.
I told my friend to, he had the car at the time, to drop me off at the Greyhound station. I get there, I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do this. So I start walking around. We said our goodbyes, by the way. He was just like wishing me luck on my trip. And I go to the Greyhound station. I don't know what to do.
You have no idea where you're going?
No idea where to go. So I decided to walk around. I tried walking out of Tallahassee to the highway. I'm like, I'm going to hitchhike. And I'm looking at the highway and it's just like crazy traffic and just like, I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. I got picked up by my first hitchhike, my driver, whatever.
Yeah.
I stuck my thumb out. Like,
that's crazy.
Immediate bad news.
Yeah.
There's a lot of details in my testimony that I'm just going to skim over. A lot of it involves in just like people trying to take advantage of me, or I have to fight them off or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people are really nice. But after this first driver, I was like, I gotta go. He like took me to his house. I was just being oblivious. I was just like,
that's crazy.
I realized I've been trapped.
Driver.
My first driver. I realized I was being trapped. So like I bolted out of there.
Whoa.
Went back to the Greyhound station, and there used to be a screen, and you would just buy your tickets online on this computer at the Greyhound station.
Okay.
And I just went through all the cities in the United States. I was like,
stop.
All right, I'm gonna buy a ticket. Where do I want to go? And I was gonna go to New York or something like that, but I was just like, I think hitchhiking is a little bit more friendly on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So I look at Los Angeles. I'm like, never been. So I just bought the Los Angeles ticket.
How much did that ticket cost? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It wasn't that much. I think it was maybe $100.
Okay, so now we're down to $500 in a Los Angeles ticket.
Now we're down to 500. I get on the bus. I meet some strangers on the Greyhound. If anybody knows the Greyhound, it's a wild bus to take. You get a lot of prisoners. You get a lot of homeless. You get a lot of families struggling. You get the raw America.
Yeah.
And I get dropped off. I'm in Los Angeles now. I didn't know where I was gonna go. So I start walking through Los Angeles. I have no idea where I am. I don't know the layout. I'm in the hood. And I'm like walking down the street like some giddy white kid with like a backpack, just like walking down the street. There's cops everywhere. I asked the cops for directions. I found like a hostel on Google.
Okay.
And so I went to the hostel, and the cop was like, hey, do you know how to get there? The cop looked at me, he's like, dude, get out of here. What are you doing here? There was like a dead body on the road, like a crime scene. I was like, oh, sorry. And I just kept going. I walked for 2 hours to the hostel.
And your dad was a cop, so
yeah, he was.
You probably felt comfortable though.
Yeah, I was comfortable. I don't know. Maybe I was. I think I was very naive. I was very naive, very dumb. Didn't care about my life. I didn't care if I get hurt, kind of thing. And I found a hostel. It's like $7 a day. I'm there. It's Los Angeles, so a lot of people are flying in from other countries into Los Angeles to stay at this hostel.
Oh.
I got to meet a wide range of people from all over the world. Again, I'm drinking crazy. I think I spent the rest of my money at the bar. Like every day I was at the bar just drinking my life away, and then I was like, crap, I'm out of money now. So I asked the hostel if I could work there. I said, yeah. So I got a job there, and I was driving the bus shuttle, picking people up from the airport, bringing them to the hostel,
Okay.
taking them to the train. So I got to know Los Angeles.
Yeah, wow.
But then again, I'm drinking like crazy.
You mentioned the other day while we were like hanging out with our families about being a bus driver in LA, and I'm like,
You're like,
what?
where in the story was this in my life?
Yeah, where does this connect? Now I get it. Okay.
And now I'm here. And again, I'm drinking. One night, I don't know if I should skip this part. We can probably edit it out.
Yeah.
I basically was looking for drugs to the point I was into cocaine at the time. I asked my manager, like, hey, we were drinking. I was like, hey, do you know where I can get coke around here? He's like, yeah, up in my bedroom. I'm like, giddy.
Oh, it was your
up
manager, too.
It was my manager. These guys were rough on the edges. By the way, this hostel is in Compton.
Okay.
So that's the type of characters you get there. I go upstairs. I'm like, giddy, I'm going to get some drugs. And he basically he trapped me in the room. It ended up we were about to knife each other. I pulled out my knife. He was trying to hold me down and everything.
That's crazy.
It's just how dark it was getting on my trip. Luckily, nobody got stabbed. I'm unharmed.
So you have to leave this job where you're living now,
Yeah.
like everything.
I'm just living out of my backpack. And now I have to deal with this guy every day who potentially tried to like rape me or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
100%.
Yeah, terrifying. After I left the fight, I went to go drink more. I went to this tiki bar. There was no bartender. Nobody was around. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I started pouring alcohol in my mouth through the tab.
Oh my gosh.
And the owner saw me. And he started yelling at me, like, get out, blah, blah, blah. He started calling the cop. So I had to run. I had to grab my bag and dip out of there. I had no idea where to go. So I called up one of the bartenders. I befriended the bartender for like I think I was there for like 3 weeks. I was working and living in the hostel. I called one of the bartender up, and she's like, I'm like, hey, the cops are after me. I gotta leave. This guy kicked me out. Can you help me? Do you have a place? And she said, I'm around the corner. I was like, it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I was like, okay. She's like, come out to the right side of the building, whatever. So I go out there. It's her and her boyfriend. They live in a car. So she's like, yeah, this is my house. So I get in the car.
Stop.
Her boyfriend, really cool guy. I don't remember his name. I think it was Mike. Swastika tattoos all over him, but he had left the gang. So it was a beautiful bunch of misfits that God was using in my life.
Yeah.
We went to Venice Beach. We slept on the beach. We just like being bums. It was quite adventurous and kind of fun. But I was fighting. I was playing with death.
Yeah.
And I told her, I gave her some money to take me as far as I can north. So she dropped me off, I think, at Santa Monica.
Yeah.
I gave her some money for gas, and that's where we departed. From Santa Monica, I walked a day or so up to Ventura Beach
Okay.
in California. That was rough too because I was sleeping outside. And
Just
California
like
at night
where?
gets really cold.
Yeah.
I found a foreclosed house. I slept on the patio. I had fleas all over me.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
shivering. I had no food. I was starving. I made some friends along the way. Like I was at the beach. This one kid was like, "Hey, are you just backpacking?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude." So we drove around. We were smoking weed. We were having fun. He let me use the shower at the house. He had a bunch of roommates, and then he's like, "I gotta go to work in the morning, but you can stay or you can leave." I feel bad. I put fleas in his house probably.
Oh no.
Anyways, I hit the road
He knew
again.
what he was signing up for.
Yeah, he knew. And he was really cool. I hope to see him. I hope he's doing well.
If you're out there.
Yeah, if you're out there, man. Forgot his name too, man. I'm not good with memory. But I hit the road again. I started hitchhiking. I'm just having a rough time.
Yeah.
because on this trip I wanted to find God or purpose or life or just start a new life somewhere else. I'm on the highway, I'm hitchhiking, it's been like 3 hours. And it's hot, it's dry, and this silver car pulls over after three hours of just hitchhiking.
You mean you're standing there for
I'm
3
standing
hours?
outside, I'm walking north on the highway, and
Okay.
it's for 3 hours, and finally a car pulls over. And I'm like, okay. So I walk up to the car, and on the back window, he had like 3 hats. Just, people put hats on the back of the dashboard.
Yeah.
And it's like a stitch hat with thick letters, and it said Jesus on it. I was like, oh boy, this guy's probably gonna be like, talking to me about Jesus all the time, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever, I'll take this road.
At least it's a safer car ride, most
I
likely.
think, yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
It's this old man, and he loved Jesus, and he was just telling me about Jesus the whole time, and I couldn't care less. But he was driving to San Francisco. I was like, I want to go to San Francisco. I think he was hesitating. Like, I was hoping to give you a ride, not a whole day ride, but like a couple
Yeah.
hours or to the next stop. I was like, no, I'm just take me to wherever you're going and drop me off. It was like, all right.
Oh my gosh.
And so he wanted to see all the national parks before the rapture came.
Oh.
I was like, this is exactly who I thought you were gonna be. His name is Tracy.
You remember this one's name?
I called him after I came to Christ.
Really?
But I'll get to that later.
Wow.
So he taken me to all the national parks. He has like points for hotels. So he's spending all these points. We're getting hotels. I'm like getting food. I'm getting
Whoa.
yeah, because I was stealing a lot of food from hotels. Because like when you go
buffet.
to the buffet in the morning, free breakfast.
Yep.
I just take my backpack off, leave it in the bush, walk in, and just like take some free breakfast and take food for the rest of the day, and just walk out.
Yep.
So we got up to Utah. No, we got up to Oregon. It's called Crater Lake. And we get in a fight. Because the whole time he's talking about Jesus.
And finally you said,
And I was like, I don't believe in that. I believe in evolution. And he freaked out. Flipped out. He kicked me out of the car. And then I'm at Crater Lake. I'm walking around Crater Lake. It's a beautiful place. And then I see him. I come back to the parking lot, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You can still come with me if you want, whatever." And so it was an awkward ride.
Yeah. He had prayed.
Yeah. I was like, okay, let me get into Canada. So he takes me up to Vancouver. Custom didn't want me to go through Canada. Canada is very strict. But I eventually went through the border, and we stayed in Vancouver. I was going to keep backpacking, but I was actually kind of afraid of Vancouver. I don't know anything about the cold. I don't want to be stuck up here in the cold.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the tropics, so... Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know how to live in the cold. So we drove down from Vancouver to Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I went all the way up and came all the way down. He was always playing worship music in his car. We were just talking. It was peaceful. Kind of. It was awkward. He's like an old man. I'm like a young kid in his car. Like drug head.
Yeah.
And we get down to Vancouver.
This could be like a movie series.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He would stop and go to churches on Sundays.
Really?
I would just sit in the car and sleep. And I get down to Vegas. I meet up with a friend. And I said my goodbyes to him. I was like, thank you for the ride. Thank you for just like taking me in. and he sneaks a King James Hotel Bible into my backpack. I'm like, why is it heavy
Really?
now? I opened it up, there was a Bible in there.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, just freaking crazy old man. And I
awesome.
meet up with a friend. She lived in Vegas, and she took me into her home for a couple weeks, but I stayed there for a while, tried to get a job in Vegas. I was working on the strip, selling baseball caps, and that didn't last very long. 'Cause
That strip is crazy.
Yeah, she had to go on like a trip with her family, and she's like, I can't let you stay here in my house.
Yeah.
I don't, you know. I'm like, that's fine, I'll hit the road again. So, stayed in Vegas, I went out to the strip to Panhandle. I met some hitchhikers, homeless people, I don't know. Just people, freelancers. And we were just panhandling out on the strip. Believe it or not, you would make like $200 in a day.
Are you serious?
And
Whoa.
I'm just sitting there. I'm at the Bellagio, and there's one guy who's like, "Hey man, you can't be on their property. They're gonna kick you out." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I get on the other side of the sidewalk to panhandle. I'm getting like people like, "Get a job," because I'm still a young kid. Like,
Yeah.
I look healthy.
Yeah.
I was out there. I think I stayed a couple of nights outside. I slept out under a bridge, like an overpass, like a train tracks. And I met with this guy who told me, "Hey, let's go to Burning Man." I was like, "Oh, sweet." He's like, "You know what it is?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, we need tickets, but we can try to get in." I'm like, "Okay." And so this I forgot his name too, but we went up. We started hitchhiking out of Vegas. We got a couple of rides. We went up to Reno. We had this guy pick us up in a smart car. Literally, he's in the back. I'm in the front like this, just with my backpack. The car was so
Oh my
small.
gosh.
And the guy, we regretted picking us up because we smelled bad.
Oy.
Anyways, I think we had like 2 trips. His mom picked us up. The guy I'm traveling with did like in full camo. And a crazy
Creepy.
beard.
Yeah.
But we were just chilling. He was getting in a couple of fights on the way up, but we got up to Reno. And then from Reno, Burning Man is just, I think, an hour or 2 from the city into the desert.
Okay.
So Burning Man is like this festival. It's like a New Age festival.
Yeah.
And we got picked up by random people.
I have like worldly friends and family that don't even realize the spiritual implications of Burning Man, and like they go and
I had no idea.
yeah.
We went out there. I had some. I'm hungry at this point. I'm tired. We get out there. There's a small town from Reno that you get to. It's absolute desert valley. Like it just when you think of like that road in the desert and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
And a couple like canyons and mountains.
And like
just hot.
maybe a Native American trailer
Yeah,
here and there.
maybe, but there was absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't walk out there. We get to this town. The only thing I have to eat is 24 pack of Modelo. That's all I have.
Modelo.
Yeah, the beer.
Oh.
And I'm walking around with Modelo beer, just drinking. That's the only food I have. We're in line to get into Burning Man. And I'm starving at this point. And I'm just hoping to get in. They sweep the cars. They look for people trying to sneak people into Burning Man. And
Oh, because you drive a whole car in.
yeah, so I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but you have like a line of cars getting into Burning Man.
Okay.
And we're in one of the cars. And the girls didn't want to hide us in the RV, so we were just like trying to walk our way in. And I get pulled aside by security, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing out here? Blah blah blah. Where can we take you?" I'm like, "I have nowhere to go." He's like, "Dude, you're out in the middle of nowhere." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm gonna have one of my security take the security car to drive you back to that small town." So I was like, "Okay." So I go. Now I'm on my own again. I get in a fight with the guy I was traveling with.
Okay.
He had the short fuse.
Camo guy. Yeah.
Camo guy. We get in a fight. We split up. I get pulled aside by security, and I'm driving. The security driving me back into town.
Did he make it in? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We
Just
split up.
Okay.
We got in a fight, and I go back into the small town. I think I had like a couple bucks. I got breakfast at one of the small towns. And I had been starving for so long that I threw it all up. I ran outside and threw it up,
Oh,
and I'm just throwing up. It's hot desert. I don't know how hot.
all you're
it is.
drinking is beer.
All I had was beer, and I couldn't eat. I'm just like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah.
I walk from the restaurant. I even paid for. I think I went back inside to pay for my food. Came back outside, and they're just like a cowboy town.
Mm-hmm.
I go out. There's like a truck trailer. I sleep under the trailer because it's shade. I wake up. I don't know what to do, and I'm like, crap.
Many of you ask me where to buy Orthodox Christian icons, so I wanted to take a moment to tell you about Orthodox Icons Corona. This shop runs in conjunction with the Orthodox Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Corona, California. They have over 100 stunning icons that are handmade on plaques of wood with high-quality printed images. This is a humble shop run by the church's volunteer parishioners, and a great option to consider for your next Orthodox icon. Be sure to check out their website, www.orthodoxiconscorona.com, to find more details and use code Michaela promo at checkout for 5% off.
I think I got some food. I think I replenished my energy, and because I was just sick. And then I go to the edge of the town, and it's that road again. It's just this lone desert road. There's no cars coming in or out. And I'm like, I want to hitch a ride to go out of this town.
But you're like scared to go out on that road.
Yeah, I'm like, if I go out here, I'm gonna bake and pass out. I had like a jug of water, but it's just way too much. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there at the edge of town, just waiting. I don't know how long, an hour or so more. Nobody was leaving town, and nobody was coming in. It's crazy. It's Burning Man. Burning Man is opening up.
Yeah.
No one is coming through town. And I get a phone call. I still have my phone. It's my dad. My dad is like, hey, just checking on you to see if you're alive. And if, just letting you know, if you ever want to come home,
Oh my God.
I'll buy you a plane ticket from wherever you are. And
I have the chills again.
I was like, no, Dad, I'm fine. I'm living my life. I said, no. I'm like, I'll let you know, whatever. But, I'm gonna finish my journey. I haven't found it. I haven't found myself.
Yeah, you told him
I
that.
hung up the phone, and I don't know what to do. So I started walking back into town because I was on the edge of town, no cars. I started walking back into town, and I get this sudden, feeling of, I don't know, this aura just surrounded me. I haven't gotten this emotional about this story in a long time.
I've never heard this story.
I don't tell people it because it's just otherworldly. I don't feel any pain, or it just feels timeless. I feel so much peace, and I don't hear anything. It's just like I'm walking back in this town, and I'm just in this ball of energy.
Meanwhile, your dad just called you too.
My dad had just called me, but I told him off, I don't need you. I'm gonna go off and do my own thing.
No, but God was still working through him.
Yeah.
And he's he laid his eyes on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this moment, I have a vision. And in this vision, it just, there's no voice, there's nothing. It's just, I'm not in my body. I'm somewhere else, and I'm overlooking South Florida. I'm just seeing it. And I see me in school, and me riding a motorcycle. And there's no voice or direction, but just knowledge. Just my heart just being pulled. Mm-hmm. And I have this immediate download of what I need to do. And
whoa,
I'm
what you were
bawling,
looking for.
I'm crying, and I'm just shaking, and it's just peace and just love, and it just goes away. And I'm just standing there in the desert, in the town, walking back into town. I'm just I need to go home. Immediately, I need to go home. I need to go back to school. And there was no instructions, but it was just automatically given to me to do something.
Yeah.
And I knew immediately at that point it was Yahweh. It was Jesus Christ. That God that the Christians worshiped, it was that one. There was no denying who it was. I didn't think it was Buddha. I didn't think it was Muhammad or Allah or anyone. I just immediately knew who that was. It was just instilled in me. Like, there's no denying who it was. And I'm like, I feel like I'm on a different planet. I'm walking around and I'm just like, I feel so light. I don't feel hungry anymore. And I called my dad up and I said, hey, I'll take a plane ticket. He's like, okay, I'll send you money or whatever. And I go,
Larry?
yeah. And this lady told me, hey, you know, there's a bus that goes to Reno. Or like,
Okay.
and I'm like,
It's all
okay.
coming
So
together.
I get on the bus, I go to Reno, I get on the plane, and I fly home. But it doesn't end there. I get home, my parents embraced me. They're glad I'm okay. My mom was praying like every day when I was gone. And I come home and I fall back into the drugs again.
Because that's your environment now.
That's my environment.
Yeah.
I was afraid to grow up where I live. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to get back into the habit. And I did. And I went even more crazy. Because I was like, I had this whole experience and now I'm like, I'm fighting people, I'm getting high on drugs and
That takes
just-
like next level strength to be a new person in the same place that you were somewhere.
for sure. Because I was talking to the Lord, like, take me somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
get me out of here. And I remember him telling me, you're gonna grow to be like a faithful man here. If you can't grow up here, you can't grow up anywhere. And I remember having that thought. And so I'm going crazy. I got a job at Publix. I worked at Publix for like 3 months, whatever. And I fell back into the drugs again. I acknowledged God, but I never gave my life to Christ. I never made that decision to actively and vocally shift my mind to become like submitted to Christ, submitted to God. And in this time where I came back and I'm falling back into the drugs and everything, I fell to my knees. I would like brush my teeth or I got out of the shower. I fell to my knees in my bathroom and I can feel the Lord just above me. And I just vocally, it's my first time talking to him. And I was like, Lord, I give up. I give my life to you. I'm done living my way. Because everything I do in my way, it leads to destruction. But if I do it your way, it doesn't. And I'm like ripping myself apart. I want you to take over my entire body, my mind, my heart, and just use me, send me anywhere in the world to do anything. Use me as your tool to wherever you want me to be. And after that moment, I waited like 2 months. I didn't know where to go. I didn't want to go back to church because I didn't like religion. I knew God was real, but I didn't want to be in the church. A friend messaged me on Facebook 2 months later after that. And she was a girl that I used to, like, we used to do drugs together, we used to see each other at parties and stuff like that. She messaged me on Facebook and like, hey, I know this sounds super weird, but I'm a Christian now, and God telling me to bring you to my church. The Lord wanted me to invite you to church. I'm like, oh, perfect, thank you. Yeah, that's why I was waiting for something to happen.
Yes.
And so I started going to church. I went back to this mega church. The mega church that my parents brought me up in.
Okay.
And I was at this youth church, and I started making friends at the church. Started learning and reading the Bible more, and just getting familiar with the gospel, trying to understand it. But it's very like loosey-goosey because it's not a very serious church.
Yeah.
It was more about building connections, whatever. And this is the start of my Christian life. One of my friends here is like, hey man, I told him about my experience, and he's like, that's supernatural. You used to go to a Pentecostal church. So I was like, wow, I want to see more Holy Spirit. I want to see
Yeah.
more miracles. And
Feel that love that you felt,
yeah,
that peace.
I wanted to chase that miracle again. I want to see
That's
more.
like the ultimate high.
It was the ultimate high.
Yeah.
Nothing, no drug can make you feel that way.
Yeah.
So I wanted more what I thought was Jesus. It is Jesus. It's the Holy Spirit, but it's different now that we're Orthodox. We think about
Yeah.
it differently.
We do. It's not something you pursue.
Yes.
Like, you don't pursue spiritual experiences like
You
that.
pursue holiness
And God.
and understanding,
Yeah.
and you pursue salvation with Christ every day.
Yeah.
But it's different as a Pentecostal. We don't have that kind of teaching to guide us. We
So you
don't have
chase
those traditions.
experiences.
Yeah, we just chase experiences. It's a good point, because we started going to the Pentecostal church. I'm speaking in tongues. I'm going wild for the Lord. I'm going to every conference in the world. I see Benny Hinn. I see everything. I get plugged into another church. One of my old high school friends, he started up a church. I started building a strong sense of community there. I was kind of like a youth leader. It was fun. I was on the worship team. I used my punk rock music and I put it into worship music.
Yeah.
But
You played guitar.
I played guitar in the worship band there.
Yeah.
I was dealing with a lot of issues at the time, trying to become a better Christian, but there was still sin that was grabbing a hold of me. So I had to leave that church, and my friend who was a pastor gave me a connection to this pastor, Pastor Darren at Harbor Church in Pompano. And at that church, like, God gave me so much grace and love. I learned so much. I became very close friends with the pastor. I became a staff member, but it was mostly a healing place for me. It's hard to transition from a crazy lifestyle into Christian,
Yeah.
to the Christian lifestyle, because there's a lot of temptations and baggage. And at this church, I was very depressed. I was so depressed. I had a cloudy mind. I used to be a very outspoken person. You know me, I'm not like a very yappy type of guy.
Yeah.
But at this point, I feel like I'm changing. I don't know, it's either I'm maturing, but I was depressed. The thoughts of suicide were happening. But
Again.
at this church, in Harbor Church, my pastor started, he just took me in. He didn't even have to say much. He just gave me a place to be.
Yeah.
And through that church, I met my wife. That's where I met Romy. And she had just came into the church. We started dating, and we got engaged in that church when we were going
I
to
love
that church.
what she told me. I think we were talking about in the friend group that one of the first things you said to her was, "It's over if you take me away from God." Like,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't want a woman. My main goal in life is to be in communion with God.
yep.
If a woman is taking me away from that, I'm gonna leave. I can't do it.
Yeah. And that was the
She has
perfect
to push me.
foundation.
She has to push me closer to God.
Yeah.
So
Your priorities were straight at that point.
Yeah.
Even if you still struggled, like,
I was still struggling. I didn't understand how I said the prayer. I'm saved now. Why am I still dealing with sin? And
now we have a different Orthodox understanding.
Yeah, Orthodox has the answer to that.
I'll just say I relate to that. Like, when I became a Christian and I gave my life to God, and I knew that doing things His way would produce the good fruits in my life I wanted to experience. But I continued to struggle as well. And still, like, I think that's our lifelong journey, is to struggle and to climb the ladder towards Christ and struggle against our flesh to grow in the strength of our spirit. But when you're in a Protestant, like, non-denominational kind of church, there's this, my friend Kara and I talk about how, like, there's this standard of, like, sinless perfection of,
Yeah.
like, I welcome Jesus into my heart and now I'm saved and I
Yeah.
don't struggle with anything, like, my life is amazing now.
Yeah.
They'll admit to there being a process of sanctification, but I feel like learning the Orthodox perspective on this gave me so much freedom to be a human. People say, like,
Instead
becoming
of
human.
mentally being over here and So it feels like you're faking it.
A little
you're faking
bit.
your salvation.
Yeah.
I'm faking my way. I'm smiling. I'm saved.
Yeah.
But in
I know God
Orthodoxy, it's like,
knows.
no, you're right here. You're working through it right now. You're becoming a saint, but
you got to work through it. You got to work it out every day.
You got to work it out.
Yeah.
That's a huge mental shift.
Yeah.
When you go from Protestant to Orthodoxy.
And it's relieving. For me, it was a relief.
I feel relieved.
Yeah.
Knowing that God is working you through the process.
Yep.
But when I was with my wife in this charismatic church, there was a lot of unanswered questions. Like, why am I still deaf?
Deaf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why am I still deaf? I've been praying for years to get rid of this. But it seems like everybody else is getting healed. Their legs are growing back. Or, their ears are more aligned. Or I feel like God healed me from this trauma. It's a lot of stuff like that. And there's some things I do want to bring back up. Like when I was in my depressed stage, I was doing anything to get healed.
Yeah.
From trauma or whatever. I've had somebody pay me hundreds of dollars to get delivered. I went through a deliverance ministry where I paid this pastor who was teaching this theology about how you're saved, but the physical part of your body is still on earth and it gets infested by demons. So I was like,
wow,
okay,
that's scary for
whatever
people.
it is.
That's why they would pay hundreds of dollars to, okay.
So I've done like a private section with this guy where he's delivering demons out of me. They put the Bible on me. I literally started squirming and clawing at myself. I fell on the floor, I was vomiting, just like acting as I'm possessed. But I was outside of my body, watching myself. And I felt in my soul that my soul is pure. Why am I on the floor? And this guy scared the crap out of me. It changed my view on deliverance ministry. Because deliverance ministry is huge now in America. But I realized that I'm allowing these demons to possess me. It wasn't like I had a demon in me the whole time and we need to pull him off by doing speaking in tongues and putting the Bible on me and stuff like that. The whole theology this guy was teaching was Gnostic. In Orthodoxy, your body was made good by the Lord. In Orthodoxy, we pray with our bodies too. We prostrate, we do the sign of the cross to make not only your spirit but your flesh bow down to Christ. But that's hindsight.
Yeah.
So I knew the Lord let me go through this because He's like, you're tough, you're gonna get through it, but you're gonna need to experience this so that you know what you're talking about in the future.
I think it's an important note because, like you said, it is really popular.
Very popular
these days. I fell into it as well. I feel like it's like a common pipeline of like born again believers who went through a lot of crap, and then they get into the Pentecostal sort of charismatic, and then they get into the deliverance ministry. But I'm seeing a lot of people start to come out of that as well.
Because I was going there for a couple of weeks. You see the same people every day. Why?
Yeah.
Why aren't you delivered?
Yeah.
Or with the process? Or you need more money? I don't think it's solely money. I feel like they're being operated by the wrong thing. They're just being... It's just a horrible theology. It's just horrible bringing up their traumas and just making money off of it. Or making a ministry out of it. Even if he might think that he's doing the right thing, but it's just the danger of everybody's the Pope in their own eyes.
Of like operating outside of the hierarchy and tradition of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the danger of that,
Why Orthodoxy is so important, because the tradition, you don't use the tradition as ladders. Well, maybe, I'm not a theologian, by the way. I'm not a priest. But I'm speaking from personal experience. Forgive me in the comments. But when I came to the Orthodox Church, the traditions were guiding me to Christ, holiness. There weren't ladders or things I had to do in order to obtain salvation.
Exactly.
As a Protestant, we were raised to hate the Apostolic Church.
Yeah.
But when you come into it, they're like, this is why you don't go through deliverance. You don't need it. They just, I mean, maybe, I don't know, whatever.
No,
but
I agree with you.
these traditions, if
You
you
get-
had followed them, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Yes, you get healed over time living out these traditions.
Yeah. So now in the vision when I was out in the desert, I went back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm back in school now, and not now, but in this time when I was at the church where I met my wife, I went back to school, but I went to a theology school, and like through the grace of God, He gave me Pell Grant and everything, so I didn't even have to pay for the school.
Wow.
I was like, wow, this is a blessing that God is leading me to the school. I wanted to become like a pastor or evangelist. I had a huge heart for missionary work, and I used to do a lot of evangelism out on the beach. So I go to school. I'm studying in theology. I am acing these classes because I am so fueled. I love learning about God, and I graduate the seminary with a bachelor's degree. But at this time, my wife and I are already inquiring at the Orthodox Church. But my wife and I, it's another long story, but during the pandemic, our church shut down in Pompano. And we had no church because we were afraid of the law. And we were like, this is ridiculous. This is like the Roman persecuting the church. We can't stop worshiping.
Yeah.
We have to continue. And we started this underground church group at home church. We were like, this is what God wanted us to do. God allowed this to happen so that we can start home church just like they did back in the day. This is what we thought. We didn't know history. And in seminary and theology, in seminary school, you don't learn about any history before 1500.
Isn't that interesting? That's what I'm always reminding, like, when anybody gives, like, the Protestant pastors a hard time, I'm like, well, they only know what they were taught, and this is what these schools are teaching them. So I like to believe everybody has good intentions. They just don't
They
know.
all do, and they are authentic.
Many
Christians.
of them, yes.
A lot of them, I would say even most of them that I knew in seminary school, honestly, some of these people are better Christians than some of the Orthodox that we have.
Yeah.
But they just have the wrong theology.
And it's like even the Bible they're reading is limited.
We don't know that. Like, as Americans growing up, we don't know anything about that. We didn't know that the Bible we were reading is actually, Luther took out a bunch of books out of it.
Yeah.
And
it's not the ancient church's interpretations in the study notes.
Your interpretation is whoever your pastor is. Whether you're Lutheran or you're Presbyterian, they all have different systematic theology.
Yeah. So now you're starting a home church.
We're starting home church. It gets wild. We're like speaking in tongues every day. Speaking in tongues. We have a spiritual leader. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was like leading us through. He was very spiritual. We'll have like a word, we'll pray throughout the week, and then we'll be like, let's see what God wants to give us this week, and then we'll have worship in the house, we'll have food, communion, and just have a word of whatever the Lord wants us to say, and we will practice spiritual gifts. And we were so caught up in this. We're like, the church is failing because there's no Holy Spirit in it, and there's no miracle. But this guy knows what he's talking about. He's always working in the spirit. He's always healing people. He's always giving people word of affirmation and prophecy. There was a lot of prophesying, and we were prophesying to each other all the time. This happened for a couple of weeks. My pastor called me up to see what I was doing. I told him, he's like, you need to step away from them now.
Really?
Like, you don't understand. We're like operating in the Holy Spirit. So we had a kind of like falling out a little bit. And we're in this small group, and it starts getting a little weird because there's no boundaries. I'll let my spiritual leader, like, hey, I had I had a vision just now of you meeting up with somebody for coffee. And he'd be like, that's my wife. And I'm like, no, that's not what I got from her. And he's like, no, that's my wife. And like, it started getting weird to the point where he started thinking that I was Judas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He's like that. He is like the centerpiece and I'm his Judas.
What the heck?
Like unintentionally. And
This pride.
There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of spiritual manipulation that happened in these Pentecostal circles. Because I could convince you that you're spiritually corrupt or something. Like you have some demon or theology that's messing with your prophecy.
Yeah.
My prophecy is pure and holy. I could manipulate you. That happens a lot in these churches because there's no structure. And my wife and I left that church. We started a home group. The home group lasted like a couple years, but it started getting worse and worse. I ended up getting in a fight with the guy verbally, not physically.
You've grown a lot at this point.
Yeah. I'm getting irritated with all the churches that I've been going to. It's just the same thing after another. It's just randomness. It's chaos. Everybody has their own philosophy. Everybody has their own theology. Everybody has their own interpretations of gifts and not. Some people have gifts and healing, but no one seems to be stayed healed.
Yeah.
No one seemed to be interpreting tongues. Nobody seemed to. It feels like, yeah, we're doing all the spiritual stuff, but there's no fruit. And my wife and I went to this Brazilian church, and we love everybody there, but we just had nowhere to go. And my wife is Brazilian, so we were at this church, and we got very upset during the Christmas service because they didn't want anybody, they didn't have any staff there on the Christmas service. They wanted the staff to go take care of the family and stuff. We're like, okay, but the entire message wasn't centered around Christ. It was centered around you gotta come for New Year's Eve, because on New Year's Eve, I want you guys to give your tithe, because the amount of tithe you give, the Lord will see and bless that and give you even a greater blessing in the new year. So everybody's coming up with hundreds of money and just like, and I don't know if it's the Brazilian church thing, but you in the middle of service, you get up with your envelope and you walk in front of everybody. Everybody's like watching you put money up.
I hate that. Romy did tell us a little bit about that in her testimony video. Yeah.
And it did not sit right.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is Jesus Christ? Where is he? Why is he not the center? I'm here for Jesus in my church. Why aren't you talking about him? Why are you talking about anything else? Like, it's ridiculous. And we were getting just frustrated. And I was reading this book by John Bevere.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. He was a big pastor, and he had this book about, I don't remember, but it was about the fear of God.
Okay.
And the Lord would teach, at the time the Lord was teaching me, and I was reading about reverence and how to live humble and have the fear of the Lord in you. What does it mean to have the fear of the Lord? It's not a fear as I'm scared. It's a fear as reverence and submission and just submitting your will.
Yeah.
And I'm going through this transformation. I'm like, I need a proper church. And so my wife and I, the church became political, and it was all about money, and it was just weird. We had parted our ways with our friend who was borderline cult leader. We had parted ways with him. This is where my wife and I.
You started listening to Gregorian, or
I started listening to.
Was it Gregorian
ancient worship, because although I was on the non-denominational worship team and stuff, I always hated the music. I was like, oh, that's just the music that the Lord likes. I'm gonna play this music, and I'm just like jumping up and down with my guitar.
If God likes it, I guess.
And again, it's well intentioned.
I
just didn't know. So I'm getting really tired. I started listening to chanting music, Byzantine chant, Latin chant, and it feels warm, like I'm drinking warm water. Like I'm eating warm food spiritually. And my wife and I, we love to go up to St. Augustine. That's like our date spot. When we go on vacation, we go up to St. Augustine in Florida, and we come to find an Orthodox shrine in St. Augustine. I go there all the time. And in this shrine, we're like, oh, cool. We're walking in the shrine, and there's like a little, it looks like this. It's smaller, but they have iconography. I'm like, this is beautiful.
Where do we find this?
Which one? I'm like,
Yeah.
I know I've been told this is wrong, but why? What is it? And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, if I was deaf and I couldn't hear the gospel, I can read it. You know?
Yeah.
And we're in this shrine, and it just feels so much. It feels so holy. I'm looking at the images. I'm like, okay, all these images are pointing to Christ. It's not. It doesn't seem like I'm worshiping this image. I don't think these people are actually trying to worship these images. I think they're just depictions. Like, what difference is it in the Protestant church? You have a cross up on there in the background.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I like this. And I walk into the other room in the shrine. I'm reading about the history of the Orthodox were here before the Americans were. They came with the Spaniards.
Oh, wow.
And they were here a long time. It's the first settlement in America, I believe.
Well, it's cool. This information is in this little shrine.
In the shrine. And in the shrine, there was a wall. There was a huge wall, and it had the Apostolic Creed on the wall in big, bold letters. I'm like, hold on, babe. Let me read this real quick. And I started reading it, and I'm like, going through my theological mind, I'm like, I believe this.
Yeah.
I believe in this creed. I wanted to see what these people believe, these Orthodox people believe. And I read the creed, and I'm like, I believe in this. I'm like reading. I don't have a creed in my non-denominational church.
Yeah. Or if they do, it's like the same creed as ours.
Right.
So it's like the same foundational.
Yeah. But I haven't read the creed in non-denominational.
Nobody reads it there.
No.
Yeah, that's not really a part
And
of
I'm
it.
like, this is interesting. So this is where I start looking up Orthodoxy in online with my wife. I'm listening to the music already. I'm trying to discern the theology, which is very hard for me because as a non-denominational Christian, you cannot let anybody pull you away from Christ. It's very stern. Like, I'm not gonna let anybody throw me aside. I'm gonna stand on sound doctrine, but I'm like really, I'm processing it. The biggest thing that stuck out to me was the Eucharist. I'm like, we keep partaking in this communion, grape juice and dollar crackers. They're so disgusting. And I'm like taking communion, and I'm reading about the Eucharist, how the mystery behind it and the theology behind it. And I'm like, I want this. That was the main thing I wanted from the Orthodox Church. I want to partake in communion with the Lord.
Oh my gosh.
And
did you see that Girls Gone Bible episode with Father Josiah Trenum?
yes.
She's like obsessed with the Eucharist. I'm like, it's a matter of time.
Well, it is Christ on earth. And you come to know that this church is Christ on earth. This is his body. You cannot separate it from him.
Yeah.
And the priests who have been passed down, and not lightly, you can trace their lineage back to the apostles.
Yeah.
And they're taking care of the communion of Christ. So we are living in the first century now, in this church. This is Jerusalem. This is the Israel that we're seeking for.
Yeah.
This is it. And the Eucharist was a huge thing, and I was like, icons and kissing them. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do know I want the Eucharist.
Yep.
Everything else
We'll figure it out.
kind of like a secondhand theology to me. Like, I want Christ, I want the Eucharist. I love the music, and the final. I mean, once you read the history, there's no denying. I was thinking about becoming Catholic because of my Irish mother, and I feel culturally like I want to be Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
But when I look through the history and the theology of the what happened with the schism, And it's how the doctrines and the creed and the theology of the Orthodox Church was the same. It hasn't changed. I was like, okay, I want to be Orthodox.
Yeah.
Then my wife and I were like, crossing our fingers. We're praying to the Lord, like, hey, take us away from the Orthodox Church if it's not you.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave me in here unless you're leading me into there. And I remember him just like kind of saying, I'm there. I'm in the Orthodox Church.
Giving you
Like,
that
I'm not going to
peace.
leave you ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so 2 years ago, my wife and I walked into the church.
Almost 3 years ago now,
3
right?
years ago, yes. That's where we met you.
Yeah.
You were pregnant. My wife was pregnant. We
Yeah.
were walking in to catechist classes.
Yes.
And
I always noticed you guys. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm pregnant. She's pregnant.
Yeah, we're the same age. Everything
Yeah.
was just like perfect. And
Yeah.
that's how
We never left.
I never left. My mom is Orthodox now.
Yeah, a lot has
My 2
happened.
close friends, becoming one of them became Orthodox. He became the godparent of my son. His brother is inquiring now.
Whoa.
So sharing his testimony is strange. It feels natural now that I'm warmed up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of details I left out. So some of it too violent or too inappropriate, but somebody shared their testimony to me this morning at coffee hour. And he warmed me up, he got me fired up
Yeah.
that miracles and people have God working in their lives in the Orthodox Church. It's actually more miracles.
Yeah.
It doesn't end.
Yeah.
Because when you read about the saints, these people have been ripped apart, skinned alive. Their families, their children have been tortured to give up the name of the Lord, and they refused. They stayed true to God, and they extreme miracles. But with the Orthodox Church, I'm now more guided on how these miracles happen.
Yeah.
It's more focused on healing. Orthodoxy is about healing the soul with guidelines. And you have a spiritual father. Everything's set in place to guide you rightly so you don't get swayed into, like I have been, by like potential cult leaders and multitudes of pastors with different theology. You're not bouncing around everywhere.
And spiritual
Now you're
deceptions,
like a bow. You can draw back and it shoots straight into Christ.
Yeah.
So
Now we're on the narrow path, just
yeah,
chugging along.
yeah. And now I'm a father. I'm a dad. I'm married, and I'm in a different stage in life where I almost feel like God concealed me so I can cook and just get ready for whatever the next thing is in life. But
I don't see any of that old man in you,
okay, good.
which is,
Yeah,
glory to God. You've
That's
changed so much.
Yeah,
He's refined you and healed you so much already.
yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. But
Well,
that was my testimony.
thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing it. We've been talking about doing this forever, so I'm
Yeah.
really excited that you finally we finally coordinated it, and
Yeah.
we got to hear Landon's testimony. So we may collaborate again
Of course,
in the future.
we can talk more about specific things or
Yeah,
whatever.
we could have a panel discussion. His wife, my husband,
Yeah.
talk about being Orthodox as families, and
Yeah.
there's a lot we could talk about in the
There's
future.
so much.
So
There's so much in life we still have a huge life ahead of us.
yeah,
We just started with Orthodoxy.
we just started. We just got in the boat.
Just got in the boat.
You know how like the Orthodox Church is, they compare it to a boat.
Yeah.
So we're heading north
Right
toward
north.
Christ.
So
All right.
cool. Thank you.